Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane. And in just a moment, we are going to do a fabulous interview with Ms. Bridget Fitzgerald. She's charismatic, she's beautiful, and she's very, very talented. Let's take a look at this very exciting interview with Ms. Bridget Fitzgerald. Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane, and I have a very special guest today. She is beautiful, she is charismatic. Her name is Bridget Fitzgerald, and she is a fabulous actress. Now, Bridget, I just want to tell my audience a little bit about you, and we are going to get into the interview. First, I want to know, tell my audience, what inspired you to be an actress?
I honestly wanted to be an actress ever since I was little. I went with my class when I was a little kid to watch The Secret Garden, and I wanted to be on stage really bad. I wanted to be that kid, and ever since then, I had a dream. I had a focus, and I had a drive, and I just wanted to act and write and make people entertained, and that's what I've been up to.
Well, that's like me too. I wanted to be in show business. I wanted to be an actress too, because my father took me to the movies when I was like 3 or 4 years old. And in those days, the movies were very grand. And, they had the big marquee and they had the balconies. And I said to my father, I said, "Daddy, are those real people?" And he goes, "Yes, honey, they're actors." And I said, "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be an actor." So I was pretty smitten too. Now, my father was born over 100 years ago. My father was born 1920. So, and he used to go to the movies for like a nickel. So that was his whole life, being a little kid and going to the movies. So now let me tell you to my audience a little bit about you. You are, it says here, one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. You're an actress, a comedian, a model, a lead writer, and the creator of the sitcom Newsy by Time Warner. Now tell my audience about Newsy. Tell us a story of how that came about, how it was created, and how you became involved in it.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I have always wanted to be an actor and a writer, as I've said. I like to write material to perform, to give myself opportunities to perform. So Newsy came about thanks to taking classes at the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York. I took a lot of improv classes and made a lot of friends there. I made a lot of friends that are like family to me. So when I started to kind of make projects for myself, like short films and that sort of thing, those are the people that I reached out to work with to do as far as like casting and collaborators.
Yeah,
exactly.
Collaborate.
Exactly. And I had already done a couple of different short films with a group of people from the Bronx, from Bronx Community College. They had found me for a 24-hour film fest. That was in New York. And so they had cast me as an actor there, and then we just kept collaborating and making other shorts together because we loved working with each other. So when I came up with this idea for a sitcom pilot that I wanted to pitch originally to NBC, they said, "Yeah, we'd love to collaborate with you." And so I had this group of people that I knew from the film world and this group of people that I knew from the comedy improv world. And so I wanted to tell a story that I could really shine in, because as you can imagine, they don't really write stuff for Irish Peruvians that are 5'10" from, all over. Like that's not a type for some reason.
You're Irish and Peruvian?
Yeah, my mom is from Lima and my dad's family is from Ireland, but from the name Bridget Fitzgerald, everybody always assumes I'm like this red-haired kid who's very pale, but I'm very, very tan. So I was like, well, I want to play to my strengths.
You
and show
probably
people
have a
who
lot
I
of
am.
Spanish in you. You have Caucasian Spanish in you, maybe a little bit of Indian too.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah. Lima, Peru, you know, my mom's first language was Spanish. She moved here to the States when she was 18. So I thank her for a lot of my work ethic. Her and my father both, they have a strong work ethic. And I think that reflects in the choices I make.
So now you got this program on Time Warner Music.
I did. I made it as a pilot together.
And you wrote
a
it.
funny
You
character.
you actually wrote this.
Yes, I wrote it. I worked with my friend Lauren Hunter. She also wrote a little bit on the project. So together we had been performing on a couple improv teams, and so wrote it to star us. It's called Musi because that's the two characters' names, the two leads, Mags and Susie, one played by me, one played by Lauren. And basically each roommate thinks the other roommate is crazy. So the episode goes between everybody's different perspective to see why they think the other one's crazy. And it just switches back and forth throughout the episode. It was a fun concept. It honestly wasn't edited in the order that we ended up keeping it when we pitched it to Time Warner, because it changed after we did a public screening of it in New York. So once we saw people's reactions, then I went back in with the editors, with Carl Zamato and the other guys from Get Stuff Done Productions, and we got together and re-edited it, and then that's what you get, is the final version that I ended up pitching, thanks to contacts that I have at Time Warner, because the NBC contacts fell through. And so I was like, well, let's work another angle. There's always another way.
No, I don't follow this. A lot of TV shows that I don't watch because I just watch certain things. But I'm, excuse me for my ignorance, but has this been on television, or is it going to be on TV?
It was available for purchase a la carte on Time Warner online. So you can buy it online and then watch it. It was available through a service called In Demand, which is a joint venture for Comcast, Cox, and Time Warner that provides all of your on-demand film and TV.
So this is pretty much where television is going. You buy what you want to watch and see it on TV, and this is a new world that we're living in, and this is how things are pretty much going now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the people are learning how to adapt to this new online world.
We have to. Bridget, as you know, you met me years ago and I interviewed you. You know, I used to go to events and walk on the red carpet and interview people. And now I'm talking to you on Zoom because I had to adopt. And you can see my pink kitchen behind me because everything in my house is pink.
I love it.
I know, everybody does. Now, is this your living room that we're looking at, or is this something else that you put a picture behind you?
Oh no, people from that love sitcoms know that I would love to be on a sitcom. This is the Friends background, so this is the Friends living room.
Fabulous! It's absolutely fabulous. Now, I'm going to read a little bit more about you. Your lead films were Happy Place, Blundering Heights, Peaked in High School, and you had supporting roles in the drama film Joe's War with Ed Asner, a very good actor, and Armand Assante, and comedy film Reality Queen with Denise Richards, Mike Tyson, and a science fiction comedy Snatches with Jonathan Fernandez and Dave Hill. You did featured comic on VidMe with over 250,000 video views. You were the lead romantic drama plot for Lifetime's Fall Into Me platform, where test audiences called you both likable and relatable. Now, tell us thus far, what has been your most challenging role?
My most challenging role will probably have to be my latest one that's coming out that's not on that list yet. It's now been renamed. It's called Under the Stadium Lights, and it's was formerly known as Brothers Keeper when I was shooting it. It got renamed once it got bought for distribution. It stars Lawrence Fishburne as the lead. And in it, I play Rosa, who is a young mom who's working. She has 3 jobs. And the entire film, I spoke only in Spanish, which is my 3rd language. I speak French conversationally, and I took up Spanish as a gift to my mom for Christmas one year. So I definitely...
You speak the correct Spanish, not the slang Spanish, right?
Well, I mean, what do you mean by that?
You know why? I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in high school, we had a Spanish teacher, and I had a lot of Spanish kids in my class, and they were brought up because they're Spanish. They were Puerto Rican or South American. Yeah. Most of them were Puerto Rican. Anyway, they were failing the class because he was telling them this is not the correct Spanish. He was actually teaching college Spanish. And these kids were speaking like we speak slang, like, you know, like English people, American people that are American speak English, but a lot of times we don't say the right thing. Like, in other words, me and Tom went to the supermarket when it should be Tom and I went to the supermarket. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but you also have to realize that there are different dialects. Just like English is spoken different ways in different countries. So perhaps they were speaking a dialect that was more from where their parents were from.
Exactly.
Rather than a Castilian-based language, which is from Spain or...
And that's really what he was teaching. He was teaching like, you know, like a Castilian type of Spanish. So these kids were failing the class and they were Spanish. It was unbelievable. But anyway, enough of that. I want to hear more about you. And now, you also wrote jokes for games. And this is what it was called. This is what she said, sold in Target and Amazon, as well as Friend O on your iPhone. Tell us the story, how you got this gig.
Okay. Well, I mean, I met you when I was doing stand-up in New York. I was doing a stand-up set, and then I was so happy to be interviewed by you afterwards about a short film that I had done at the time. And basically, I have just continued to do other comedy-related jobs. I've written sketch comedy. I've made my own sketch comedy series that had that 250,000 views. I've been paid to be a comic, a featured comic for a website called vid.me. I was featured as... Oh, great. It was the video back end of Reddit. And then Vigo, I was paid to create children. Well, they didn't specifically say children comedy, but I did create sketch comedy for a year, just with different, you know, characters and things. And most of the people who followed me, I had 6,000 followers, and they were mostly children because I guess I have a big smile. My nickname as a kid was Smiley. And I'm just very upbeat and optimistic, and I use fun colors, much like yourself, Cognac, you beautiful pink thing.
Yes.
Yes, love it.
Every woman should wear pink because it makes us look beautiful and feminine and young, darling. It makes you look...
Well, you look gorgeous. You're always gorgeous.
Ms. Cognac always knows we have to know what makes us look young, because we're in show business and we got to look young for as long as we can.
Well, you look exactly the same as the first day I met you. I have to say, your hair is different, but you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But so I started writing jokes for the game That's What She Said, which is sold in Target and online. And that was based off my experience pitching jokes for these other places like National Lampoon. I wrote for their comedy podcast and radio show that was heard by 500,000 monthly listeners. And then for all these other comedy jobs I've been telling you about. So that's how I ended up writing for them. And I love them. They love me. I've been very grateful to be brought back for 3, I think, editions.
So you really are, even though you're an actress, you really are a comedy writer. You really are.
I do a lot. Yeah, I do a lot. I mean,
you really are. That's so wonderful, because people in show business need to have an angle. You can't just be an actor. You have to have some kind of a business behind what you're doing. because if you don't have that, you're going to starve. Am I
Well,
right?
I feel like it's kind of like, you know, use the whole buffalo. You know what I mean? Like you
Yes.
have to have some way to get ahead and make yourself shine and sparkle. And so for me, it's writing my own material to perform and finding other ways to use that material, and hopefully, you know, keep working and moving forward until, you know, you achieve your big dreams.
Now, I want to also talk to you about a Lifetime thriller. You're
Mm-hmm.
the lead in a Lifetime thriller. Tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was, again, and a lot of mine go back to just making great connections and enjoying the people that I work with. I did a lot of short films just to get experience when I was in New York. And so one of the great filmmakers that I worked with out there, when I moved to LA, I packed everything into like 7 suitcases, and I moved to LA to pursue my dreams. And when I got here, Chris was working on this Lifetime pilot, and he was like, I'd love to work with you, because he had just worked with me in another short film that he had cast me in once I got here. So I've worked with him 3 times, and I'm very grateful about it. He was like, okay, well, you would be great for this. He sends me the script. I add in a couple punch-up jokes, and then we shoot it, and it got screened because they made so many pilots, and they like selected the final ones to go. And he was part of this director's lab. And so that's how we ended up making that. And I got tested, and it was neat to go through that process, to be tested and have people write in nice comments. People who don't know me at all were like, she's likable, she's relatable.
So you had the old-fashioned screen test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they air all the pilots, and then they that's how they decide. And I mean, it makes sense because they do the same thing with commercials or whatever. They have test groups, so why wouldn't they do that with something that costs so much more, which is a pilot?
So you're living right now in LA.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like with the COVID?
I mean, it's the same as it is everywhere.
I'm hearing all these stories. My cousin she also lives in Los Angeles, like you.
Okay.
And she tells me all these stories about what's going on, and it's not pretty. And how are you surviving, darling? You seem like you look good. You look like you're surviving pretty good.
Well, I've been very grateful. I'm very blessed. Again, use all the parts of the buffalo. I've been doing a lot of voiceover work from home, doing hosting work from home, doing those joke writing jobs from home. It's just the same as everyone else, you know, except you have to go outside to get some sunshine and when you can. So definitely do that. But other than that, you know, I've been doing the same quarantining that everyone else has been.
We all are, darling. But it looks like you're not one of those people that are afraid or hiding under the bed. I'm not either. So we just got to live our lives and do the best that we can. Now, you also have a reel. We're going to be closing this interview, but you also have a reel. And I want to I want you to tell my audience what's on your reel.
Okay, absolutely. Well, there's a couple things that you can't see anywhere else that's on my reel. For example, there's a short film lead that I have in there called Happy Place that you can't really see in tons of other places because it was a UCLA MFA short. That was great. It was a beautiful film, and I was very grateful to go to Utah and shoot for that. And you can see snippets of Snatchers, which is that sci-fi comedy that just came out. You can see that little not released to the public because they ultimately went with the other pilots, Lifetime pilot. You can see a scene from that, from my work with Chris. And I mean, honestly, there's a bunch of different facets. The point of a reel is to show people your range and what you can do and the cool things that you can do. So that's what hopefully you'll get to see in this reel.
Well, what I'm going to do, it's on YouTube, right? And
right.
I'm going to download it, and we're going to put it into the interview after you speak. We're going to put it in so everyone out there on television and all my audience that knows me and that's a fan of my show and a fan of me will be able to see your beautiful face and what you're all about. Now, is there any project right now that you're working on that you're really excited about that you want my audience to know about before we close the interview?
Oh, absolutely. I am grateful and blessed this year that the East LA Arts Commission gave me a grant as an artist. They had I think $50,000 worth of grants to give out, and they gave me a $1,000 grant as this artist during this difficult year. They asked me for what I do during quarantine and what I have done and continue to do, and I sent them both my reel and Smiley Bridge TV, which is still available to view on YouTube. And I would love to share that with your listeners, because I would love, and viewers, of course, hi New York. I would love them to check it out. Smiley Bridge TV is something that I believe in. I think that people more than ever could use something that's lighthearted and fun and silly.
Oh,
and that's
right now, after what happened yesterday at Capitol Hill, we could all use some laughs. We can all we all can have a little escapism. Yeah. Is that the word? But you are a treasure. You are beautiful. You're glamorous. You're very entertaining. You're very funny. Tell my audience, where can we go to learn more information about your beautiful self, darling?
Well, you can go to BridgetFitzgerald.com. It's my name, BridgetFitzgerald.com. Or if you can just remember, Smiley Bridge. My nickname as a kid was Smiley. SmileyBridge.com will redirect you. So SmileyBridge.com will redirect you.
I'm just curious, how did you meet Solomon?
I met him during a film festival. Yeah, remember I was doing all those short films in New York, and I met Solomon Chertok, and he's a great guy. He's a very sweet guy.
Thanks to him, we're doing the interview today because he told me that you need to interview her again. She's done so much in the past years that you haven't seen her. You need to interview her again. Thanks to him, we are doing this interview. I want you to tell my audience one more time where we can go to learn more information about your beautiful face, about you as an actress.
You can go to BridgetFitzgerald.com, BridgetFitzgerald.com to learn more. Follow me on Twitter, Smiley Bridge, YouTube.com/SmileyBridge, or just SmileyBridge.com.
You're gorgeous, darling. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. You too.
And I'm giving you a big champagne kiss.
Mwah.
We will be back with more Zoom interviews, darlings. Keep watching. Big champagne kisses.
Yeah, come back on Rumspringa. We'll show you how it works.
We are Mennonite. We don't have Rumspringa.
What do you guys do?
I can drive a truck.
Rumspringa seems better. You get to see a whole new world. It's like the Little Mermaid with beards.
It's called Mennonite corn.
Mennonite corn.
Okay.
I'm Instagramming this shit. Everybody say cornhole!
Cornhole!
Cornhole?
Thank you. That's nice. I have a boyfriend.
Boyfriend? Guy said you guys broke up.
Or, you didn't have to lie.
Dude, chill.
I'm handling this.
I'm a good person. Fucking bitch.
Hey.
I don't know what to say.
Tell Claire good luck at Thanksgiving. Now this might seem crazy, but I'm excited. You could have a tiny little being inside of you as we speak.
Agreed. From nothing, something. From darkness, light.
How high are you? We have a new member this week. Everyone, please welcome London Logo.
Welcome, London.
This is a safe place. This is our circle of consent. You mean your sex tape? Well, yeah, but that tape clearly shows consensual sex. There are people here who have actually been sexually abused, miss. What are you gonna claim next? That you're a victim because the guy didn't take you on a big enough shopping spree after you had sex with him? Poor you. Who's next?
Why were you guys throwing all that shit at me while I was following you in the truck?
That was you? Oh man, sorry about that.
It's cool. Let's just get to the roof.
There has to be stairs up, maybe in a custodial office or something. And keep your eyes open for Jeb. That turd got himself lost. Or I did.
Jim, I should have told you this before, but I'm really sorry about your loss.
Yeah. I mean, I really can't believe it. I'm dying inside.
It must have been really difficult for you.
Everyone I know spends all this time trying to be someone that they're not. But Lulu? Lulu was happy with who she was. Who can say that anymore?
I think I could make you feel better.
Not the time, dude. Have you ever called the hotline before?
Yeah, I did, actually. I called, but I never got any money out of it.
Do you think you'll ever call again?
Definitely.
How am I still not there yet? I totally should have packed a snack.
I can't believe you're driving to this guy's house you've only met on Tinder. Haven't you heard of the Craigslist killer?
I still maintain that if you answer an M for W, girl, you brought that on yourself.
We are Bank. We will rock you, sir.
Face it, Max. You've got no money. You need somewhere to go.
Don't you feel like you and I kind of connected and we've come so far? I'm not even saying that we need to stop. Why would anyone need to stop? We don't need to stop.
We had to come on.
I hope you enjoyed that wonderful interview with Ms. Bridget Fitzgerald. Please, darlings, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and always ring the notification button to know when I publish a new video. I always publish a video every Sunday or every Monday. I love you all and keep watching. Pink champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Fitzgerald. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh.
This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.